Swing destroyed. This is going to the 10th city, baby.
What you just witnessed was a 116-mile-per-hour home run off the bat of super prospect Julio Rodriguez. We call him J-Rod in the baseball community. He has officially been called up by the Mariners. He has made the opening day roster, and to celebrate, we're going to give away a J-Rod autograph. All you have to do to be eligible is, one, be a subscriber of the channel. We're on the road to 400K, and also I'm coming out with a second upload. We're going to be reacting to the top 100 players according to Major League Baseball. The list is very controversial, so all you have to do is comment on that video who you think the best player in baseball is, and then also a way to contact you. So pretty easy, but make sure you guys are subscribed with the bells on. You'll have a better chance. But aside from that, let's go ahead and jump into the two breaking trades that happened both yesterday, and I think there was one today. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but the Blue Jays have traded catcher Reese McGuire to the Chicago White Sox in exchange for another catcher by the name of Zach Collins. So the White Sox are getting a Reese McGuire who was once suspended for extracurricular activities. I will not go into detail, but yeah, he was once suspended. He has a career 85 OPS plus, and he plays some pretty solid defense. And to me, he has been better to start his career than Zach Collins. Zach Collins has a higher upside. He's one of my favorite catching prospects of the last few years, but so far he's been a bust with a 77 OPS plus and a whopping -18 DRS as a catcher just a year ago for the White Sox. So catchers have been traded, Reese McGuire for Zach Collins, and then also another trade that I want to talk about, a 1-for-1 trade, just like the Blue Jays and the White Sox. We have a relief pitcher for a relief pitcher. We have Joely Rodriguez, who the Yankees acquired last year in the Joey Gallo trade. I believe he came over in that trade. And then going over to the Yankees, you have Miguel Castro. Again, both of these guys are relief pitchers. So the Mets, they grabbed the lefty Joely Rodriguez, who is very solid for the Yankees. He had a 2.84 ERA with New York, and he has a career 3.87 FIP, which suggests that he's actually fairly decent overall, but he's approaching 31 years old, and his strikeouts per nine did decrease for the Yankees, so it kind of sounds like Brad Hand 2.0 in the making. The Yankees are getting 27-year-old Miguel Castro, who has already shaved, so the Yankees' hair policy, I don't like it whatsoever, but I guess it's still a thing going forward. Has a combined 3.6 ERA over his last 100-ish innings pitched, and Mets fans will tell you though, even though he's pretty good and he strikes out a lot of guys, he is wild, as evident by walking nearly 6 hitters per 9 innings back in 2021. But again, he's 27 years old. He had an almost 11 strikeouts per 9. So an older lefty for a younger right-handed flamethrower. What do you guys make of that trade if you're a Yankees or Mets fan? Because very rarely do the Mets and the Yankees work together. And here's an example of that. Last thing about the Yankees, Josh Donaldson and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa have gone off in spring training. Yesterday, they both hit home runs, and spring training is coming to a close fairly soon. I believe we only have 1 or 2 games left, as opening day is on April 7th. This Thursday, again, I'm going to be in Anaheim watching Shohei Ohtani live. But if you're a Yankees fan, what have you thought so far of Josh Donaldson and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa? Because honestly, I haven't heard a peep about Gio Urshela or Gary Sanchez, so the Twins, they're kind of just making do with what they have. And they added Carlos Correa, they added Sonny Gray, who we are going to talk about later. Actually, let's talk about him right now. So obviously the Twins added Gio Urshela and Gary in that trade, but they also traded for Sonny Gray, who made his debut yesterday for the Twins. And I mean, he was all right. What did he do? 4 perfect innings? He started his Minnesota spring training career by tossing 4 perfect innings. He is going to be a massive X factor in the American League Central. If Sonny Gray is a Cy Young candidate, the Twins are definitely going to be in playoff contention. At least that's my opinion. Another X factor I want to talk about in terms of pitchers, Noah Syndergaard. He threw 5 innings for the Halos yesterday, which is his longest start in the last few years. He struck out 7. He looked really good. He actually feels comfortable, as evident by this tweet over on Twitter saying that he likes it here. So again, 2 of my biggest X factors for pitchers in the American League, Noah Syndergaard and Sonny Gray. If they can perform even as fringe Cy Young Award candidates, I feel like the Angels and the Twins have a pretty good chance of making the playoffs. So the next 3 or 4 minutes of this recap are going to be dominated by lefties, so let's go ahead and get Rafael Devers out the way because he hit a moonshot, but not just a normal one. This ball almost skipped off the dirt. I feel like this ball was at his shoelaces. Rafael Devers is hitting .435 with 6 home runs and 12 RBIs and 23 at-bats. This kid continues to be underrated simply because he plays absolutely horrific defense, so his WAR isn't the highest after every single season, but offensively, this guy is going to be a problem for the next decade, maybe decade and a half. half because he is still quite young. Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and Mickey Moniak went off for the Phillies yesterday. Kyle Schwarber hit one. Bryce Harper almost had a 3 home run game, but he settled for 2. And then Mickey Moniak had another multi-home run game. To me, he has to make the opening day roster because he's hitting .310 with 3 doubles, 5 home runs, and 30 at-bats. Now, the only problem is he doesn't have a single walk in those 30 at-bats. And also, if we go back to his debut in 2021, he went 3 for 33 with 16 strikeouts, nearly a 50% K rate just a year ago. So we know that plate discipline is going to be absolutely key for Mickey Moniak if he's going to fulfill that #1 overall pick from back in 2016 or 2017. Now, obviously, one lefty that does not have to worry about making the opening day roster, the 2021 AL MVP, the second coming of Babe Ruth, and in my opinion, a better version of Babe Ruth. Here go the comments, but Shohei Ohtani now has 3 home runs in spring training. He did this in Anaheim. I didn't even know that you could have a spring training game in your actual stadium, but he has those 3 home runs, and he has more walks than strikeouts. Anthony Rendon went yard as well. Brandon Marsh and Joe Adell have been raking. If the Angels can get a solid year from Noah Syndergaard and Patrick Sandoval, and these young guys between Marsh and Adell show up with Anthony Rendon, I mean, not to say that the Angels are a World Series favorite, but they're going to be way better, especially with all of the additions that they made to their bullpen with Tepera and Loop and re-signing Raisel Iglesias. Archie Bradley, is Archie Bradley on the Angels? I don't remember, but if they did get Archie Bradley, they're even better. So yesterday, we saw that Sean Manaea was traded to the San Diego Padres. Again, he was a former member of the Oakland A's, and of course, his very first start as a member of the Padres is against the A's. I just wanted to show this real quick. It doesn't really mean anything, but you saw him smiling against Tony Kemp, and then he had a strikeout. Just kind of a fun clip. 2 more lefties, kind of leftyception. We have Akil Baddoo hitting an Oppo Taco against a left-handed pitcher. That's his 2nd home run already this spring off a lefty. He didn't have a single one in 120 games last year, so he is showing improvement. Spencer Torkelson hit a bomb as well. So this team, just like the Angels, is really relying on some younger guys. And for their kind of 3 through 5 starters to show up, I really feel like Eduardo Rodriguez and Casey Mize are going to be very solid. But if the Angels get production from Sandoval and the other guys, they're 4 through 5 starters, and the same with the Tigers and Tarek Skubal and Matt Manning and Michael Pineda, they're going to be good. Another young left-handed hitter that I wanted to talk about who also hit a lefty-lefty bomb, Jared Kelenic. I'm really hoping for him to build off of his OPS that he had in September. If you don't remember, he ended 2021 on fire. He had an .860 OPS in the final month of last year's campaign. So if Kelenic can do his thing, they've called up J-Rod, they have Mitch Haniger signed to an extension, they've added Robbie Ray, and they traded for Jesse Winker and Eugenio Suarez. There's a reason why opening day is completely sold out in Seattle. It's because that team is legit. All right, everyone, remember we are doing a giveaway in the very next video, so make sure you are subscribed with those bells turned on. If you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off your entire order. And now we're going to bring back a pretty popular segment of MLB Recap. This day in MLB history, Akil Baddoo and Hank Aaron, yeah, they were going off.
One pitch. There's a drive into left field. That ball is going, and out of here. Henry Aaron has just tied Babe Ruth in the all-time home run parade.
And you couldn't do it. First pitch swinging. Deep left field. Way back. Storybook home run.
How do you stay calm when you're a rookie, your first at bat? And just drills an opposite field home run.